This is The Healthy Healer, where true voice is your medicine. This is where we help doctors and other healers navigate through the challenging times by learning from the best minds in the healing industry. Laugh, cry, and be surprised. It's entertainment, education, and inspiration so you can continue to be the unique and amazing healer you were destined to be. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to The Healthy Healer with Dr. Fred.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this short for the Healthy Healer for this week. So earlier this week, we had an amazing interview with Cai Graham from the UK, someone who really works with bridging the gap between adolescents and their parents, or parents and their adolescent children. She does so through open and honest, radical listening and communication. And part of the core of that work is these three questions that she's developed as being critical in the communication bridge. These three questions were listed as number one, what is your number? This is parent to child. What is your number? Meaning on a scale from 1 to 10, how is your life going? How is your day going today? And she recognizes you shouldn't be asking this question several times a day. Maybe once a day is plenty. So what is your number? And the number being 1 being terrible and 10 being ecstatic. And this gives a child an opportunity to gauge their own day and evaluate how things are going, and also gives a parent just a brief peek at how things are going for their child in any particular time. The next question she likes to ask is, what is your word? And what she means by that is if you have to address a word to how you're feeling or how life is going for you now, which word would you choose? This gives the teenager an opportunity to explore words to address how things are going in their life. And so it's a great practice to consider words of feelings or words of emotion or words of sensation or words of just overall consciousness. And this is something that has been very effective for Cai's clients, and I imagine for anyone who has ever used that particular approach. The third thing that Cai likes to help her clients deal with is now a good time to talk, or would you like to talk is the question. And again, more times than not, Cai points to the idea that the children, the teenagers usually say, no, I'm not interested in that at all right now. And that's to be thought of as normal. But what is the purpose of this question then? And the purpose of the question is letting the child know, letting the teenager know that you as a parent are there and ready to listen and interact with what's ever on their mind. Now, we talked about 9 out of 10 times this not being something that they're ready for. But of course, that means that 1 out of 10 times they are. And they may say, yes, I'm really interested and willing to talk, which is a breakthrough at that time. What's really important is to find out at that moment whether now is a good time for that conversation or should it be scheduled or set for some time in the future. Again, this is being respectful of the boundaries and realizing that now doesn't have to be the time that the child wants to share with their parent, but they are expressing a wish, a want, a need to express themselves with their parent. And it gives a child some degree of agency and sovereignty and ownership and authorship over how their life goes, as well as a deep respect for boundaries about time and space. So I found these three questions to be very inspiring and brilliant in their setup, and wondered with Cai this week whether they could be used in other communications, even beyond the parent-to-child communication. We discussed how it might even go child-to-parent on occasion, or might go spouse-to-spouse or friend-to-friend, to be able to address what is happening in life. These are non-intrusive ways of getting to the bottom of what's happening with someone else's life. And there's lots of different methods that are taught to us on how to be curious about another, but these seem to be on the less intrusive format. This is an opportunity to actually find out what's happening over there and how things are feeling with somebody else. When you're walking along, or when you're on the telephone, or when you're on Zoom, or when you're with another person, and are curious about what their experiences of life as they are going through it. We're looking at these three questions, and what I'd like to expand upon in this short is Where are you interested and curious about another person, where you've been maybe slowed down or stopped, or there's been a barrier in actually exploring what's happening over there and how people are feeling about a particular issue or how they're experiencing life in any given moment? Feel free to utilize these 3 questions. And if you don't utilize them word for word, feel free to address these questions in whatever way you can. You really want to gauge what is the experience of life right now on a measuring scale, like 1 to 10. And whether it's a pleasant experience or an unpleasant experience, or where the confusion is, or where the satisfaction is coming from. And then you want to at least get a word, if not a whole sentence, an explanation for how is it going over there? Like, what is the experience that's dominant? What is the experience that you're feeling in words? Again, this is an opportunity for you to get practice listening, as well as for the recipient to get practice in declaring and stating what it is that they're experiencing. The third thing to do is now a good time to talk, or do you want to talk? Both really important questions. Assuming that someone is there who wants to talk to you is actually stepping over their desire, wish, want, or need to do, and being able to ask them if they want to talk, and if so, is now a good time, allows for bridging that gap. So go ahead, mind the gap, and step into being with your friends and your family and your loved ones and your ones that you care for when being curious. This is a great setup and a great launching point to do so from, and I really respect Cai Graham for bringing that to our attention. Thank you again for being a listener for The Healthy Healer. I appreciate you very much. And if you like the show, feel free to please share it, comment on it, like it, and by all means subscribe if you can. Certainly appreciate that. We will catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.